Welcome back to Extra Depth Now. It's a new era of medical care in the city of El Paso. Getting taken to the hospital in an ambulance isn't the only option available anymore for the El Paso Fire Department. Now you can look to the skies and see Firestar. I explore how it's transforming care in the borderland.
We've seen a lot of motor vehicle accidents.
Can be the difference.
A lot of open fractures, a lot of brain injuries.
Between life and death.
We do load him on our sled right behind me, actually, and I always tell him we have the best view in the house.
This is Firestar. STAR stands for Shock and Trauma Air Rescue. It's providing swift medical care to people who are critically hurt.
It's really tremendous. It's a way to be able to go ahead and continue to improve our EMS system, improve the ability of service, the service that we can provide to the community.
This helicopter is described as a hospital in the air, and it comes with the pilot, a nurse, and a paramedic on board at all times. And it has plenty of medical supplies, including a monitor, medications, and a blood bag for blood transfusions that can take place mid-air. It's bringing the emergency room to the scene.
It comes right out. And it goes right back in.
Arlene Alvarez, a flight nurse, says this is a dream come true.
I dreamed about it, when I was a nursing student. It was a thought, and I worked in critical care for many years before I made the jump, and it's been great. It's like living a dream.
She's been on the scene, loading patients onto Firestar and to the hospital.
These certain procedures are usually done in the hospital, but we have the capacity to do it here.
As the city continues to grow, getting around can pose a big challenge. Even a few seconds can save someone's life.
A really good asset to be able to get these sick patients over to the hospital within minutes versus, with the traffic in El Paso and infrastructure, it could take longer than half an hour sometimes.
Pilot Ramon Peña says many bystanders are amazed when they see the helicopter touching down onto streets and highways. But he says operations are the same.
The helicopters are very maneuverable, so you have the capability of landing almost anywhere.
Since launching the operation in the fall, over 130 patients have been transported. It's getting them to urgent care much faster. Officials tell me this is saving lives in the borderland, one person at a time.
To be able to have that resource come to the scene and start providing that advanced care that is provided at the ER, and having that immediate transport from the scene to a trauma center and getting the patients to the operating room to be able to save their life is a big difference.
Assistant Fire Chief Gustavo Tavares says the helicopter can travel up to 2.5 hours. He says the return on investment is significant.
We want the patients to be able to survive. We want the patient to be able to have a chance to survive whatever injury they have, whatever multi-trauma system injuries that they have.
A time element to when people get injured, and we can get them to the hospital pretty quickly.
Despite the circumstances, Alvarez says the patient has the best view, making it an unforgettable ride.
I always ask the question, have you ever been on a helicopter before? And most patients will say no. But we're right behind them the entire time, so that kind of gives them some ease. And we have a headset on them to talk to them. But a lot of them are scared, and rightfully so. We're pretty high up in the air, but we're right there with them the entire time.
Firestar is proving medical care has no boundaries in the Sun City. So impressive, and the El Paso Fire Department signed a 5-year contract with Air Methods to establish Firestar. As for the cost, if you're wondering, Assistant Fire Chief Tavares says it ultimately depends on the patient and many other variables.